Hi everyone, this is Camille with PMU Sign. I just want to start out by saying this will definitely be the longest how-to video, but also the most important, of course. Today I'm going to show you how to build your own form. Now, keep in mind that we do have a lot of templates already saved for you. So if you click on My Forms here, you can go to templates and we have some example, consent and release, medical history, statements of consent. So I would look through these first and see if it's something that you can utilize. But of course, if you want to build your own form, we have made it very easy for you. Also, if for any reason you do have any issues building your form, please email us at info@pmusign.com and we will be happy to build the form for you. Just give us a couple of days and then we will put it in your account. But of course, it's good to understand the features. It's extremely robust and we have a lot of different options for you when it comes to building your form, and we've tried to make it as simple as possible. So I'm going to start out by giving you guys an example. So this right here, I have it on a Word document. I'm going to pull this over. This is my current consent and release form. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this form and to make it also look really nice and have a good flow to it. So it's pretty simple. I just have a header here, a few columns, and then I do have my clients read through all of this and then just have them sign and date to consent to everything that I want them to know about. So I'm going to show you how I would go about building this form in PMU Sign. So I'm going to go back to my browser here. So I'm going to go to New Form. Okay, so the form name, that's the first thing you're going to fill out. This is not anything your client is going to see. The form name is simply for you to identify your forms. So I'm going to say consent and release form. The description is also something your clients are not going to see. Again, this is just for you to identify. I'm just going to say form number 2. Okay, so we did go over in another video how to link and unlink forms. Let's say you have a medical history form that you want this to link to. You can say that you want them to go to the medical history form next once they fill out this form. Again, that's in another video, but you can do that right from this form editor. Okay, and then the next thing you do is add a logo. Of course, we all love to brand everything that we can, so adding a logo is really important. And just keep in mind the dimensions do have to be 300 by 300. So I'll show you what that means when you go to upload a file. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Recent. Okay, so I'm going to click on this logo right here, and if you scroll down, and you can always see what your dimensions are. You can also save your logo as a different dimension if you really need to, but you can see my dimension here says 300 by 77, and the max again is 300 by 300, so anything in between there works just fine. It just has to be at that dimension or less, so I'm going to go ahead and click open. So this form is going to, or this logo is going to be on the top of this form. And then I'm going to go down here. So again, I am going to recreate what I have in this Word document in PMU Sign. So again, the most important thing that you really want to focus on when creating a form is that it has a nice flow. So I do like to have different columns. Oops, let me exit out of this. Okay. So as you can see, and I really want to break this down and make it simple, let's just look at this first row here. It says name, date, and date of birth. So because I have 3 different columns, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here to layout, and I'm going to go to table. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll over. I'm going to drag and drop. Okay, so for the number of rows, I'm just going to do 1 because it's 1 row, but I have 3 different columns. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And so I can drag the components over. Oh, and before I forget, if you want a title, all you have to do is just put a text area here, and I'll just drag this up. Or sorry, I want to do content. So content just means that you can put any text. So I can copy a bunch of text from a Word document and just put it right into content. But content means you can make something bold, italic, you can make the text larger. So the content component is good if you just want a title for your page. So I'm going to do all caps. I'm going to do consent and release form. And I do like it to be in the middle just so it looks nice. And then of course if I want it bold, I can do that. And I would like it to be probably a little bit bigger. So I'm going to do that and then click save. Okay, so that would be the title of my form, just so your clients know what they're filling out. Of course, that's important. And again, these first 3 columns here are going to be, let me go back to my Word document. So name, date, and date of birth. Okay, so I'm going to create those 3 different inputs there. For name, that is just going to be a text field. It's very simple. You're going to drag this over. You're going to hover and then just drop. And then you're going to put name. Now over here on this right hand side, this is a preview, so you're going to see what your clients are going to see. They're going to see name and then a field where they can input their name. So it's very simple. You're going to click save. Okay, and then the next one is going to be date. So we've made this really, really easy for you guys. The date and time field you can just drag right over. Okay, and that's all you have to do. Just click save right there. So they can put the date and time. It has a little calendar. Makes it really easy for your client. Now the next column is going to be date of birth. This is also something I want to use date/time for. So I'm going to drag this over. But in this section, I'm going to rename the label. So that means I want the client to know they're putting in their date of birth. So I'm just going to say DOB. And again, the preview is on the right-hand side here. So it's going to say date of birth, and they can put that information in. You're going to click save. Okay, so it's as easy as that for the first section. Now on this next one, we just have address. So all you need to do, there's no need to put a column or a table in. It's just one text field. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to put text field. I'm going to put it over and drop. Okay, and I want the title or the label to be address. So I'm going to say address. And again, here's the preview, right? On the right-hand side, you can see what it's going to look like for your client. So you're going to click save, and then they can put their address in. Now, the next one is going to be city, state, and zip. Now for this, what you can do, just like we did in this first section here, you're going to go down to layout. You're going to select table. And then I'm going to pull it over. I'm going to drop. Okay, so again, we have one row, but 3 separate columns, right? Because we have 3 different inputs. And then I'm going to click save. So then I can drag and drop these different sections in. So let's go back to my form. So I want city, state, and zip. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to user fields. I'm going to drag text field right here. Okay, so I want city. I'm going to click save. Perfect. And then for state, we've made it really easy for you guys again. You can actually go over here and select state drop down, so that way your client doesn't actually have to type in their state. They can just do a quick drop down and all the states are there. So you're going to put that right there. And it's already done for you. It says state, and you can see it's a drop down right here on the right hand side. Okay, and then you're going to click save. And then the next one is going to be zip. So I'm doing another text field here. Okay, we're going to say zip code. Okay, so it's as easy as that. There's nothing else you need to do for this section. I'm going to go back again to my page here, or my form. So this right here is all just content. This is what I like my clients to read through just so they can consent to it. And this makes it really simple. I'm just going to copy and paste this into my form. So again, content means it's just like a large text that you have from your Word document. Let's say it's a paragraph or whatever it is, or a title. That's what you can use the content field for. So I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to paste the text from my Word doc, and I'm going to click save. So now everything is in there. The flow looks really nice. Everything is stacked perfectly. And then if I go back to my form, the next thing I have is client signature and date. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to layout, and a column means it's just going to be 2 columns side by side. So if you know it's just two things, it's just the signature and the date, you can just drag column over, click save, say signature, okay. And now you have two different columns here. So this one is going to be for the signature, and this one is going to be for the date. So now I am going to go to advanced. And just so you guys know, if you require a signature, this means that it is required. So if your client does not sign, it's not going to save the form. We did this for a reason. That way your client isn't able to submit the form without actually signing it, because of course the whole point of having these forms is so our client can sign and they can consent. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drag this over for signature. Okay, I'm going to click save. And so they can sign either on their computer with their mouse or with their finger on an iPad or a phone. And then I'm going to drag and drop the date, again like we did before. So go back to user fields. You're going to select date and time. You're going to pull this over, and you're just going to drop it right there. Click save. And that is really it. Again, you guys, it's so simple. Once you figure out how all the drag and drop system works, you'll be able to create your forms very easily. So I have my logo. I don't want a next form for now. So I'm going to say consent and release form test. Okay, then now I'm going to go ahead and click save right here. Okay, so this is also a really important thing for all of you to know. So choose an identifying text field. So what does this mean? An identifying text field means that this is what your forms will be organized by once they are submitted from your client. So everyone has a different preference. I personally usually do it by email or name. You do have to select something though. I don't actually have an email input field in this form, so that's why it's not allowing me. It's choosing what identifiers I have already put in this form. So if you want to organize your client forms by name, you can select name. I'm going to click save. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go over to forms, and I'm going to go to my forms. Okay, so consent and release form test. This is the one I just created that you guys just saw. And you can edit the form, you can view it. If you click view form and your client is in your studio, they can fill it out right then and there. Of course, you can delete it if it's something you don't need, or you can copy the form URL, and we did show this in another video. This form URL is going to be to put in your appointment confirmation or reminder emails. That way your client can actually fill this form out before they even come into your studio, so it's very convenient. That's what this link is for. You can use it anywhere you'd like. You can even use it on your website as well. So I'm just going to copy this if I need it. And again, because I didn't select that I wanted it to be linked to any other form, it's not going to be linked. This form is just going to be by itself, but I can link it to another form by going to edit. So let's say I wanted to link it to the medical history form. I could say for next form, medical history, and then click save. So it's very, very simple. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to help you. We can also build your form for you if you email us. It's info@pmusign.com. Any questions you have, we are definitely there for you. But again, this form builder can be really, really simple once you get the hang of it. Thanks so much.